This is TechCrunch. The near-bottomless demand for unique AI training data from top labs and corporations is driving a massive boom for a cohort of data labeling startups. One of these fast-growing businesses is Micro1, a 4-year-old startup that expanded its gross annual run rate from $100 million to $500 million over the past 8 months. That's according to a person familiar with the company. Like its peers that hire domain experts, such as doctors, lawyers, and scientists on a contract basis, Micro1 retains roughly 60 to 70% of that figure, putting its net annual run rate between $150 million and $200 million. While Micro1 still lags competitors like Micro1, which hit $2 billion in gross annualized revenue this summer, and Handshake, which reached $1 billion earlier this year, the startup's revenue growth shows that there is more than enough demand to support multiple players supplying AI training data. The rapid growth is bound to continue, with some researchers hypothesizing that future AI spending on data could rival spending on compute. That outlook bodes well for Micro1, which is seeing its contract sizes grow at an accelerated pace and expects its margins to expand over time. The startup is increasingly generating synthetic data without human involvement, such as by creating automated descriptions of video content. Additionally, some of the data it generates can be sold to multiple customers, driving gross margins for this off-the-shelf data as high as 80 to 90%. Selling the same data sets to multiple clients has sparked recent controversy, with critics arguing that distributing off-the-shelf data to Chinese AI developers helps make their models as powerful as top U.S. models. Micro1's founder, Ali Ansari, said last month on social media that, unlike some of its competitors, the startup doesn't sell its data to Chinese model makers. He went on to say that some human data companies work with foreign adversaries, and the results show today in Kimi K3. We believe it's shameful to claim American AI dominance desires while selling millions worth of data to countries that we are in adversarial competition with. Like Mercor, Micro1 began as an AI recruiting startup, but after noticing that data labeling clients were using his AI platform to vet and recruit engineers for annotation, Ansari decided to pivot and enter the data labeling business too. Ansari previously told TechCrunch that in addition to having its experts evaluate model outputs, a concept known as reinforcement learning, the company is building a robotics pre-training dataset by having hundreds of generalists record everyday object interactions in their homes. Micro1 raised its Series A at a $500 million valuation last September, and TechCrunch understands that the startup may have recently raised another round at a significantly higher valuation. Micro1 did not respond to a request for comment. Japan is pouring billions of dollars into its burgeoning space industry and easing restrictions on defense exports, efforts designed to build a homegrown aerospace sector filled with domestic startups that have a global reach. Letara, a Sapporo-based startup developing hybrid propulsion systems for spacecraft, is looking to capitalize on that push. After focusing on hybrid thrusters for small satellites, the company now plans to develop large rocket systems for the space, defense, and security markets. That's according to the company's co-CEO, Shota Harai. Now, that expansion is being fueled by 2.6 billion yen, which is equivalent to about 16 million US dollars in new funding that comes as the startup tries to turn years of academic research and demonstrations into a commercial business. The round was co-led by Headline Asia, JIC Venture Growth Investment, and Incubate Fund with participation from strategic investors, including Networked Energy Services Corporation, which is an energy company. Now, with this round, Harai said, "We plan to explore a much wider set of use cases across both the space domain and the defense and security domain, and to develop and propose hybrid rocket systems suited to each of them." At the heart of Letara's technology is a hybrid rocket design that keeps its solid fuel separate from the liquid oxidizer needed for combustion. Inexpensive, widely available materials, such as plastic and rubber, are used as solid fuel. The company has developed a proprietary manufacturing process that mixes shapes and compresses these materials to ensure they ignite reliably and burn consistently. The end result is a system that can deliver more thrust with less waste than traditional hybrid rockets that often use expensive paraffin wax. Now, the aim is to solve three problems that have, so far, limited the use of hybrid propulsion: generating sufficient thrust, maintaining performance, and controlling combustion. There is considerable opportunity if Letara is successful. The global hybrid rocket propulsion market is projected to expand to $2.6 billion by 2032, up from $848 million in 2024, at a CAGR of 15%, a trajectory that points to growing demand for the technology. Still, Letara is not alone in its pursuit. A number of companies are developing hybrid rocket technology, including Japan's Interstellar Technologies, China's Galactic Energy, South Korea's InnoSpace, and Singapore's Equatorial Space are advancing hybrid rocket technology. There's a German startup and an Australian startup as well that are pursuing hybrid rocket technology, while other U.S. companies are developing competing propulsion and launch systems. Letara is targeting satellite makers and operators, launch companies, and governments. It sees commercial satellites as its biggest market for in-space propulsion, while government demand for rocket systems is growing, particularly in Japan. The company says it has already won orders from rocket and satellite companies, as well as the Japanese government, although it did not disclose the value of those contracts. Its next major milestone is an in-orbit firing test with an overseas partner, which Letara sees as a key step toward commercialization. It will also need to establish a repeatable manufacturing process backed by quality controls and a reliable supply chain for fuel and tanks that can support production at scale. When asked whether recycled plastic could eventually be used as fuel, Letara said it was very much a possibility with its hybrid technology, though more testing and development would be needed. That's all for now. For the latest in startup tech news, go to TechCrunch.com.